Hey guys, I wanted to review two movies I checked out last night. Both of them first time watches, but this first one is called The Sentinel from 1977. This was a first time watch, seeing it on the Scream Factory Blu-ray release. And before I get into the movie itself, I just wanted to talk about the transfer of this. Some of it looked pretty good, but for the majority of it, I thought this transfer was really bad. Now, I never saw the DVD version, so I couldn't tell you how much of an upgrade it is from the DVD. But there's a lot of speckles, a lot of scratches, and they're miscolored too. Like towards the first half of it, you'll see a lot of almost blue looking scratches in it and stuff, and it did take me out of it, but I'm sure, I'm pretty positive this thing has to be a big step up from the DVD because Scream Factory usually does pretty good jobs. But yeah, this thing is basically reminding me kind of Rosemary's Baby because this woman, she's a model and wants to move because of past childhood trauma and stuff. But anyway, she wants to move and get her own apartment so she has a place to go if something was to ever happen with her and Chris Sarandon. So she moves into this big, apartment building, and the residents seem real weird. And, there's quite a few twists and turns when it comes to those residents, which I don't want to spoil for you. But, I mean, this has a huge Rosemary's Baby feel. But the ending of this, see, yeah, I'm getting jumbled here, but the first thing I heard about this was from the 100 Scariest Movie Moments from Bravo. They had like this documentary special thing years and years ago, and there was a scene in here that they said was really freaky. So I was expecting this movie to be real. Basically, I was expecting to get creeped out by the movie. I mean, demonic stuff usually creeps me out, and for it to be on that list and everything. So I was expecting a lot of good things. And I do got to say that a lot of this movie is pretty dull. The last 15, 20 minutes do pick it up a lot. Like you do see the majority of your creepy imagery in the last 15 minutes. So, I mean, I definitely put this as if you liked Rosemary's Baby and say House of the Devil, you're going to love this movie. So, I would definitely pick it up if you're a fan of that or a fan of 70s, nunsploitation or satanic horror in general. But this thing does have quite a few special features. Looks like 3 audio commentaries. I haven't listened to any of the commentaries, but I will eventually down the road. And just a theatrical trailer and still galleries. But this thing was like $13 on Amazon, so it's definitely worth that price. But if this thing isn't that big of a step up from the DVD, I kind of would want to get the DVD because I think the DVD has a better cover than this. I'm not a huge fan of this cover, but the original DVD had a cover kind of like Baskin with the 2 eyes and stuff for the priest. But yeah, I do like this movie. I enjoyed it. So yeah, definitely pick it up. And the second movie I watched is a Cult Epics release, and I don't have a whole lot of cult epics. I don't even know if they've released a lot of stuff. I mean, I have all the Jorg Buttgereit films like Necromantic, Necromantic 2, Der Toadsking, and Schramm. But this was one that I wanted to pick up just because I've heard so many good things, and that's Angst. And I don't even know, directed by Gerald Cargill. But anyways, this is a true story of a serial killer. And honestly, I don't remember exactly where the serial killer's from. The Viennese countryside. But this movie is basically, it reminded me of like a European version kind of Henry, but it just has a way different feel. It's this dude gets released from prison, and for some reason he gets released from prison after like 2 years for murdering his mother and all that. And then if you watch the intro, it goes into he had done a whole bunch of stuff, and he was only in prison for like 2 or 3 years, which was really bizarre to me. But the camera work in this movie is honestly some of the most interesting and original camera work I've ever seen in my life. It's the star of the movie to me. Although the main actor in this from Das Boot, I don't remember, Erwin Leder. He is weird. Like he's so weird. It's almost creepy. He really devoted himself to this role, and you could tell because it comes out. There's some really shocking parts. Uh, there's some weird parts. It's like I'd mix this between like Monty Python and like Henry. Weird. It has a weird vibe, and it made me feel kind of uncomfortable watching it a little bit during some parts because he'll be like, sleeping with a dead body in an alleyway, and then load up a dog and the body in the trunk and drive. It's weird, but there's like long close-up shots of him eating sausage and peanut butter, and he narrates throughout the whole thing. This movie is awesome though. This came out in '83. It has a soundtrack by Tangerine Dream, who did a lot of horror soundtracks back in the day. And from what I understand, this thing didn't have a legit US DVD release, and supposedly this thing was really hard to get back then. And the director of Irreversible and I Stand Alone and all that, Gaspar Noé, I guess he considers this one of his biggest influences, and he watched this 30 times or something, and showed it to everybody who ever came just because. And this thing, I watched this for the first time yesterday, and I almost want to pop it in and watch it again. So this thing is going to have a lot of replay value. Um, After watching all the Jorg Buchwright movies and this, it pretty much cemented that anything more Cult Epics comes out with, I'm going to pick up. Like I just heard they released Obsessions, so I'll pick that up. I'll pick up all Cult Epics offshoot movies from the Real Gore releasing. So yeah, this is something to definitely get. And the slipcover has this awesome. Under the slipcover has that awesome picture. You open it up, you get like that's a pretty thick book. It's like 48 pages or something. To come like in a regular size Blu-ray case, and it's got some weight to it too. This is an awesome release, so definitely pick this up if you haven't seen it or you have any interest in like true crime kind of serial killer movies like Henry and all that. So this actually probably would have been good double featured with another movie I picked up recently called Murder Lust, just from what I hear, but I'll pair Murder Lust with something else. Maybe watch Henry again and review it for you guys with Henry 2 or something. So keep posted on that. Just wanted to do another quick thing of just some stuff I watched and my opinion on it. So that was definitely a pleasant night of movies. Both movies pretty good. Sentinel I'd give like a 5.5, 6 out of 10. Angst I'd give an 8, 8.5 out of 10 for sure. All right, guys, peace.